Hi everyone, it's Lindsay here in Canada, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a wonderful project that launched on the social media site Steemit last night called FreezePeach, the Flag Abuse Neutralizer. And I'm just going to be reading to you their introduction, so don't mind me for not looking you in the eye here for a minute. I'm going to be reading off my screen. Introducing at FreezePeach, the service that encourages controversial topics and tries to facilitate diversity of opinion on Steemit. The aim is to add an effectively neutralizing vote to posts or comments on the platform that have been flagged, otherwise known as downvoting, solely because of a difference of opinion. With a plethora of possible gray areas to be explored, this service will be a serious undertaking to say the least. Take this introduction as a guide to understanding the philosophy and reason behind this service rather than interpreting it as a concise volume of guidelines set in stone. The problem. Undoubtedly, the flagging feature is a net positive to the community in many ways, but with those benefits comes some severe drawbacks. Currently, it's sporadically being used by some members to punish users for expressing a point of view instead of just rewarding the content they wish to see. Reminiscent of Pavlov's dogs, it seems some wish to condition a response in anyone who may engage in what they feel is wrong think. Not only is this a proven formula for future stagnation in the community, it opens the possibility for corporations, governments, and other potentially nefarious actors to effectively control what is and isn't allowed on the platform. With the promise of a censorship-free blogging platform built on the blockchain, many of the people fleeing to Steemit are themselves victims of censorship on the various social media giants. When people join in hopes of freedom of speech, only to find their content getting flagged, they may become both one of the biggest impediments to the growth of Steemit, as well as some of the most dedicated spammers. Is flagging really censorship? Time and time again, the issue of flagging and censorship has been fiercely debated on Steemit, and time again, it always comes back to the blockchain being forever, thus nothing is truly censored. In absolute terms, this is correct. Whatever is said on here, even if hidden due to low ratings, will always be available due to the very nature of the blockchain. But that begs the question, does an action have to be absolute to be considered censorship? According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the definition of censor is to examine in order to suppress or delete anything considered objectionable. According to that definition, suppressing information is also considered censoring. Does flagging plagiarists and spam constitute a form of censorship? Is censoring necessarily a bad thing? The short answer is yes. Flagging is a soft form of censorship. And no, that's not necessarily something that's bad. We all use our votes, our stake, to decide on the content that gets put here, and that can be beautiful. But it's not likely to be sustainable if we allow dissenting views to be punished. The vision. With the need for witnesses to derive consensus on all future decisions that shape this platform, the very existence of Steemit is predicated upon our ability to handle disputes as a community. By taking the proper steps and being vigilant, we, as a community, can help ensure a flourishing open market of ideas while also keeping spammers, scammers, and plagiarists at bay. The mission. FreezePeach intends to neutralize opinion flags by eventually matching them vest for vest in hopes it will dissuade users from focusing on the negative and instead use their weight to reward content they like. This may also have the added benefit of incentivizing flaggers to comment with arguments or reasons they flagged instead of letting the flag speak for itself. To provide transparency throughout, every post that is upvoted will be re-steamed, and every comment that is upvoted will be featured in a bi-weekly and weekly update along with other announcements or changes. Defining a term like opinion flagging will be an ever-evolving process, but in general, here are some key elements to look for. Flags on controversial topics. No comment from the flagger. No history of plagiarism, abuse, scams, spam, or flag wars for the flagged user. FreezePeach will like to help with all those who have been flagged for difference of opinion, but will likely abstain if the victim goes on the attack or becomes an abuser themselves. With this service, users are given another avenue of dispute resolution, instead of feeling all alone and taking upon themselves potentially escalating the situation. Okay, so how can you help? Don't send donations. For the sake of impartiality, all donations will be sent back. Follow at FreezePeach to help upvote content that's been flagged and to get an idea of what gets upvoted by this service. Delegate Steam power only after you've seen the content that's been resteamed and are sure that you want to help. And if you have any posts or comments that you would like reviewed or have any questions or concerns about this service, come join the discussion at FreezePeach's very own Discord server. And I'm going to be leaving this whole article obviously in the comments of my vlog here. Okay, and lastly, please note, it's guaranteed that FreezePeach will upvote something that you don't like. This isn't about deciding who is right and who is wrong. This is about allowing people to speak. This project is ran by Rondon, so at R0ND0N, or on Discord at Rondon #5176. Obviously, I 100% support this idea, and I want to see more ideas like this happening because I often have views that are not popular. In fact, most of my views are not going to be found on the mainstream. I am constantly talking about things that people, the majority of people on this planet, disagree with or know nothing about. So because on Steemit, if you did have a lot of money, you can buy yourself a lot of steam power. The more steam power you have, the more your upvote is worth. So for anyone new to the site, an upvote gives you steam-based dollars and steam power. So you can be used for good, but it could also be used for bad. And like it was said here, a so-called government agent, any 1%ers who want to control free speech on this new platform, if this platform starts really taking off, what's to stop them from pouring in a whole bunch of money to steam power and going around and downvoting everything they don't want people to see and taking away earnings from people who may have, a pretty good following going, a lot of people agreeing with them and giving them upvotes, and then that can all be slashed away by one person or multiple people who put, money in, and they can just do that. So, I mean, I don't think that's cool at all. This needs to be rectified. So, I was flagged almost my first month of being here last September. The person who flagged me didn't have a lot of steam power, but also my post only had like 1 cent on it. But it was about Palestine. It was about the occupation, and it got flagged. And I don't want to see this happen to people. So read up the description in this vlog, and if you agree, then follow them. Okay? Bye.